Hey everybody, what's up? Happy Tuesday, tasty Tuesday happy hour. Whiskey friends, how's everybody doing? Hopping on a little early as I saw there was some action in the chat. I don't want to miss out on the party. Let's get into it. Salaam everybody. Who we got in the door first? Early today? As I saw there was some action in the chat. I don't want to miss out on the party. Let's get into it. Feedback coming on. Oh man, I always have a damn YouTube channel open and I forget about it. Anyways, let's do this. Mr. French, first in the door, sipping on some Deanston Virgin Oak. Get Tasty Tuesday started. You said it, buddy. Early bird gets the scotch. All right, man. Nestor, haven't seen you around in a while, man. Hope you're doing well. What's good with you? Hey, you were early, man. This looks like it came in at 7:30. Daniel's in the house, too. Great little bottle. What's up, Daniel, man? Nice to see you. Another week, another Tuesday. Back at you, Lost Cause. What's up, friend? How are you? Santa cruising. What's up, good buddy? How are things on the West Coast these days? Nice to see you, pal. Bordeaux finished cast strength Deanston in the bunker. Ooh. I have, I think I might have that one. Is it that 2008? Man. Bordeaux red wine. I got to review that earlier this year. That was one of my favorite whiskeys so far at 2019 or 2020 that I've got to taste. Really, really good stuff. Really good stuff. Underappreciated, he says. Yeah, I don't disagree with you there. Flies under the radar a little bit. Daniel, many of you guys seen Blanton's recently? Never. Oh, I heard. Yeah, you mentioned on Instagram you ran into a little bit of that. I'm sure you probably talked to some folks already here in the chat about that, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Right on, right on. What else we got going on? French says he never sees it. Lost Cause 250. What? For regular Blantons? 250. Oh my gosh, man. What is going on in this crazy world? 250 bucks. Man, that is crazy. That is totally crazy. Daniel says, I see it sometimes every so often in the local shop for 170. Ooh-wee. That's intense. Yeah, I'm with you on that, French. So the clerk pulls a bottle. Oh, this is when you were at Kroger, huh? $49.99. Yeah. That's a buy. Boy, you don't find it for that cheap. I remember just 2 years ago getting a bottle of a store pick at a place called Calvert Woodley in D.C. It was $65, and I thought that was a deal. $50, man, that's the cheapest I think you'll ever find Blanton's these days. Because he bought it. Yeah, well, good call there, man. French says, score. Not a huge bourbon fan. Should I keep it, trade it, or sell it? It is crazy sought after. Clearly, at $250, as you were saying, man, that's nuts. Or even $170. I mean, you got some good bourbon friends into that kind of thing. Maybe they'd be willing to trade you. I mean, it's good, but it's not mind blowing. There's other bourbon out there I think that's better, that's even more accessible than that. Yeah, I'm with you on that. $50 is a good deal. Yeah, totally agree, French. That is a steal. Daniel says, I know I'm probably never going to see another bottle at this price. I mean, obviously there's the question, do you want to contribute to the crazy inflation prices we see on bourbon? But at the same time, yeah, maybe you got a friend or something that'd be interested in trading you something really good for it, It's definitely worth a trade. I mean, it's good, but you won't regret trading it and then just trying to, get yourself a sample of it sometime. What would you all do? He says. French says sell. Maybe you'll get some sap for 100. Oh, you do have some friends. Yeah. I mean, why not, right? That seems like reasonable. You figure if they haven't had Blanton's before and they can't get a hold of it, good of opportunity as ever, man. Trade it. Maybe one of them has got something else special. Do you like any other bourbons? I'll give you a couple ideas of what to ask for if your bourbon friends have good stashes. Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree with you there. Mark Stengel's in the house. Says he'll be back soon. Good to see you, Mark, our friend from Las Vegas. Hope you're staying cool out there in the desert. Cool as you can, at least. Andrew Page, what's up, buddy? Classic Lottie in the glass. Oh, yeah. I am sipping some Aultmore 12 right now. I'll tell you a little bit more about this in a few minutes. Hey, Richie Z. Good to see you. Man, maybe I should start coming on a little earlier. I'll try. I can't make promises, but some Ardbeg lined up for later, he says. Oh, good. I got something to tell you about Ardbeg. Folks saying hi to each other. Alan, the whiskey friend, is in the house. What's up, buddy? Mark Stengel drinking an Old Forester 1920. Man, you know what's up. That is good bourbon. I remember you mentioned that last week on the show that you had just picked up a bottle. Did you just crack that? Man, that's good stuff. I really love the profile of those Whiskey Row series from Old Forester, man. That's tasty stuff. 115 proof, he said. Yeah. Daniel's got some hazy IPA. There you go. Rob, I'll sell mine for $250. Good to see you, Rob. Glad you could swing by, man. Yeah. And people pay crazy prices for this, like, pedestrian bourbon. I mean, Blanton's ain't pedestrian, but it's not, BTAC George Stagg or something like that. Alan, good to see you, friend. Nice stream on Sunday. Glad I could pop in for a little bit while I was working. It was good to see you. Folks saying hi. Mark Stengel saying that stuff is strong. Oh, yeah. That's a good trade. If they'll give you the Aultmore 18 for that Blanton. I have not had the 18, but I can almost guarantee it's good. This 12 is really tasty. I'll tell you a little bit about this in a sec as we kind of get started. I'm going to wait till the top of the hour to set things up. New record live stream made on Sunday. 6 hours, 43 minutes. Man, glad you're still able to type, brother. That's a long stream, man. But I bet it was a lot of fun. Good stuff. Ben Demon Hunter is in the house. Always here on a Tuesday. Good to see you, Ben. Saying hi to the good folks. Right on. Yeah. I had the 20. It was an independent bottling of Aultmore, 20 years old from, I don't remember who it was. It was at a tasting. Man, that was stellar stuff. This 12 is no slouch either. Little pricey, but it's tasty. Folks saying hi. All right. Let's get into it, y'all. Here's what's going on tonight. I got some Aultmore 12 in the glass. This is one that I've been sipping on for some time. I finally did a review of it. It's really good. Very dessert-like. A lot of vanilla happening in this, like a lot. This is a vanilla bomb in the Compass Box hedonism range in terms of the amount of vanilla going on in it. I didn't quite know where I landed on this one for a while, so I waited to do an actual review. Mostly because, I just wasn't in a place where I felt like I had a good grip on it. And so it took me about almost half the bottle to do that. So I'll post that in a couple weeks. But I'm still really enjoying it, man. It's always fun when you crack something, you're not quite sure about it. Maybe you set it aside for a little bit of time. It breathes, gets a little oxygen, does its magic. And then you go back to it and you're like, oh, that is really tasty. That's a bit of what happened with this Aultmore 12. So sipping this, who knows? I might kill this bottle tonight. There's still a bit left. Put a little bit more in the glass just for good measure. So we'll talk a little bit about this Aultmore 12. I also had an unexpected package arrive at my doorstep today, courtesy of my good friend in Sweden, Whiskey Pilgrim. If y'all don't know Whiskey Pilgrim, open another window, go sub his channel. He's doing great stuff. He's into metal, so if you're into that, you're going to get a twofer. It's whiskey and metal with him, but he's got great taste in whiskey. So he sent me 4 samples. And let me run down what these samples are, and maybe y'all can help me figure out which one of these we can do a little tasting on tonight. So first one, Long Road, 21 years old. This is a 46% ABV. The next one we got is Springbank 21, which is also a 46% ABV. Man, I don't know if I ever thought I'd ever get to taste this, so I'm excited about that one. This one's also got my eye. This is Springbank, 8 years old, 56.8% fresh sherry cask from the Campbelltown Whiskey Festival 2019. Oh boy, does that sound good or what? And then we got a Glen Scotia 14-year, 52.8%. This is a tawny port finish, Malt Festival edition 2020. So yeah, man, Whiskey Pilgrim hooked it up. I didn't even know this was coming. It was an unexpected treat right before the show today. So love to hear from y'all. Which one of these sounds like a good one to open up? We'll get into tasting that. Of course, we'll check out Mr. Cloudy, the Glen Scotia single cask, hand-filled bottle, see what's going on with that after what has been over about 3 months now. We've been continuing to check on it. We will. And then I'm going to be heading over to hang out with my good friend Telex, the Whiskey Tech, where we will be doing a tasting of Ardbeg Supernova. This is the 2009 release. I don't know what to expect out of this one, y'all. I'm super excited. This is a whiskey. I've never had any of the Supernovas, let alone this 2009 version, which is supposedly like quite a good one. So Telex and I will be getting into this shortly after 9 o'clock. So the show's set up. That's what we got going on. We have 15 folks in the chat. So let's catch up on what's going on. Say hi to everybody. And then I'll tell you a little bit more about this Aultmore before we pour one of these samples. Sound good? All right, let's get into it. Dram Dude's in the house. What's up, buddy? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. I've been really enjoying it. If y'all are on Instagram and have not been following Dram Dude, you should check out his Instagram. Dude does some great photography of whiskey bottles. Much better than anything I can do. I'll tell you that much. Really enjoying those. Check them out. Good to see you. Mark's still sipping on that 1920 Old Forester. Really long finish. Oh, yeah. That's a good pour, man. That's a really good pour. Dram Dude just had that Aultmore 18 the other day. Yeah, buddy. Daniel's talking about maybe trying to trade a bottle of Blanton's regular single barrel for it. I'd say yes, if it can be done. Aultmore 12 is literally my most bought bottle ever. It's my daily pour or two. Really? No kidding. Okay. That's good to know, man. I'm really enjoying it. I will say this about Aultmore. I think this might be my favorite looking bottle ever. It's got a really just nice color, classic. It's got the embossed on the bottom and top. Love the shape. It just screams kind of like old school dusty bottle that you'd find sitting on a shelf in somebody's house, you know, maybe over in Scotland. I don't know. I just love it. Even their font, everything about their bottle is great. It's a 46% ABV, non-chill natural color. So it checks all those boxes. Really solid glass. Comes in a nice tube. I just love the look of this. I might find something to do with this bottle. This is a cool one. We'll sip a little bit more. I'll give you guys a couple notes on what I think about this one as we keep going here. But yeah, what is Alan drinking tonight? After that 7-hour marathon on Sunday, I'll be surprised if he's got anything. He might have something. Oh yeah, for sure. Do check out Pilgrim. Check out his channel. Check out his Insta. He's over in Sweden. Gets really good scotch. As I showed, man, he sent me a whole bunch of really good stuff. So yeah, dude, the maple syrup I got that on the 1870 that I reviewed recently, man. That's a good one. Ooh, Yeah, I wish we could find an Edredar like that here in the States, man. We can never find that kind of stuff. Whiskey Shenanigans is in the house. What's up? Happy Tuesday, Booze Day, Tasty Tuesday, whatever you want to call it. We're here. We're drinking some whiskey, enjoying the community, man. Hope everybody is doing well. It's another crazy week in the COVID sphere here in the United States. I hope everybody and their families and friends are staying safe. Santa Cruzin's back in the house. Yeah, I wasn't thinking so either. I think we could probably taste all of those. Try the Springbank 8. Yeah, I might do that one, man. That sounds really tasty. Back at you, man. Is Pilgrim in the house? He is. Yeah, they sure did, my friend. Appreciate that. Nothing better than a surprise package on the door. And we're taking some folks' feedback on which one I'm going to try. I'm thinking I'm going to do the Springbank 8. Mr. French mentioned that one. Peter White's in the house. Springbank 21. All right. I'll tell you, this Aultmore 12 is going to set the palate just right for this. Klomstra, Richie Z. What's up, everybody? Oh, man, I'd love to hear how that is. I was talking about this a couple weeks ago, Shenanigans. We were, you can find those store-pick 15-year-old single barrels of Knob Creek, but I haven't had that proper 15-year-old that they just released. I'll be really curious to hear what you find. If you open that yet, I'd love to hear about it. I think somebody asked me how much the Aultmore was, but this is like 65. This is a bit pricier for a 12-year-old, in that Glendronach range in terms of price, but, not bad. It's not the most complex whiskey, but it's really enjoyable, and their presentation is really great. Oh, y'all, I should mention to you, so a couple weeks back, some folks were mentioning on the happy hour and in some DMs about setting up a Patreon, and I finally went ahead and did it. It's not completely built out in terms of like tiers and all that stuff, but I do have it set up. I'll drop the link in the chat. Appreciate you all pushing me to do this. If anybody wants to check it out, go right ahead. I'll drop the link in the chat. I'll be having my content posting over there as well. And as this goes along, I'll try and look and maybe do some exclusive stuff, which could be a lot of fun. So appreciate the push from everybody. And of course, the support, and anybody who wants to take part in the Patreon. Totally appreciate you. But let's keep going, shall we? No reason to dwell that much. All right. So Aultmore 12. This is one of those that I think, to be completely honest, I think pretty much anybody would enjoy. It's like a dessert whiskey. It's really got this like incredible vanilla dark chocolate thing going on. And it's also kind of light, a good whiskey for sipping in the summer. I have been on a bourbon kick for the last few weeks. So I was really happy today to get back into Scotch. And thanks to Pilgrim sending over all those samples, solidified that I'm not touching any bourbon today, my friends. But this is a good starter. It's got a really nice, probably medium finish, a lot of vanilla if you're into that kind of thing. And I don't mean that kind of dark, intense vanilla caramel or that oak that you kind of get from the, pardon me, I'm blanking for a second, that you get from like bourbon, you get vanilla notes on bourbon. It's like a lot cleaner. It's a lot more distinctive, straight up vanilla. You're not getting it kind of mixed with a lot of other flavors. It's just really good. My review will probably post on this in like a week or two. So check it out if you want to hear the full notes, but I enjoy this. And like I said, I love the presentation. It's one of those distilleries that, I don't know, man, it's not one that you hear about a lot about. There's not a lot of people I know that have had Aultmores before. So I kind of picked it up on a whim. And like I said, I've been going back and forth. It's one of these bottles where I opened it and I was like, this is pretty tasty. Kind of put it aside for a while. I mean, this thing was probably open for a few months. Didn't really mess with it. And it was just one of those good experiences you have. Sometimes when you got a decent collection built up after a while, you got a bunch of things open, but you're not, just drinking 2 or 3 bottles. Maybe you got like 12, 15 things open, maybe more. And, you get excited about a few and a couple get put away to the wayside for a while. And then you go back to them and you're like, oh, man, this one was actually really good. It's exactly what happened to me with this Aultmore. So I've been enjoying it. I had a couple sips last night. Totally enjoying one of these tonight with y'all. And can definitely give you the thumbs up on the Aultmore. Let me catch up quick, see what's going on. Eric doesn't mention it. Oh, I think I missed something. Foggy Moss. Yeah. Pilgrim saying hi to some folks. I think I might have missed one on that. Oh, wow. $50. Great deal on Aultmore. Boy, I don't see it that cheap. Yeah, man. Ah, man. Santa Cruzin, you're too kind, sir. I think I met Santa Cruzin a couple of years back when I first started doing this. We used to have some good conversations on Food Quig's channel. When Quig was doing a lot of live streams on Saturdays. Those were fun, man. It's always been good chatting with you for, a couple of years now, Santa Cruzin, man. Appreciate the kind words, my friend. Appreciate it. Thanks for swinging by. Yeah, it is definitely good. Definitely good. Yeah, indeed. Mark's great, man. Mark's been kind of getting into his journey. I know we've been chatting, for a couple months now, Mark. And I know last week you went out hunting. I remember you mentioned you got this, you got a Four Roses. Yeah, man, when you get those high ABV bourbons like that, whew, the flavor, man, it comes in hot and it comes in intense, man. I'm glad you're enjoying that. That warms my heart, brother. Keep sipping it. Silverlock, what's up, friend? How are you? Good to see you. Glad you could join. We got 16 folks in the house for happy hour, man. What are you guys all drinking on? Saw a couple folks. Hope everybody's having a good sip. That's real talk, man. I love Quig. His channel's great. He's a great dude. We've been swapping samples for a couple years now. I still have a box I need to send that guy. I've been holding back because I don't want to go to the damn post office here in Philadelphia, but sooner or later, man, I got to get those in his hand. He's got some good ones. Yeah, a lot of love for the 1920. I hear that. All right, y'all. So as I mentioned, our good friend from Sweden, Whiskey Pilgrim, put in my hands a Long Row 21, a Springbank 21, a Springbank 8, 56.8%, sherry cask from the Campbelltown Whiskey Festival of 19, and a Glen Scotia 14 Tawny Port. And I think maybe we'll have time to get to two of them tonight, man. Who knows? I think I'm going to go with this Springbank 8. That young 56%er, right? We got to start things off right. I think I might have to start with that. I'm going to get this in the glass. I think it's number 20. All right. We got a fresh glass here, fresh-ish. I'm going to pour this sample. Oh my God, I cannot wait for this. We'll let that sit for a sec. I'll tell you guys what I think about this one, man. Really excited. Can tell you right away on the nose. You just know it's a Springbank the minute you smell it. The musty funk of Springbank. There's nothing like it. Really rich fruit. There's a bit of a nice kind of oak wood note, almost like wood shavings note. Super complex and deep. I'm going to have to give this time to air out. Can't be diving into this yet. It's a Springbank. In fact, I got a Whiskey Friend coin here from Alan, the Whiskey Friend, that I'm going to put on top of this. Let that get a little oxygen, or let it rest. Maybe not so much oxygen. Anyways, if we get any Four Roses, not the yellow label, I'll be wanting to pick it up. Yeah, I hope you do. No, man. Aultmore, like, you're going to need something else. Maybe a peated whiskey, something smoky and peaty. IPA is going to torch your taste buds there, comrade. Alan says, hey, Eric, you got a Patreon. Yeah, I did. Yeah. I finally went ahead and set that up. A couple folks mentioned it to me the other week that I should set one up. And so I finally got around to doing it. So I appreciate the push. I'll drop it in the chat again, Alan. Check it out. I'm mostly going to get things posted on it and everything like that. So it's up and running, man. Appreciate it. Check it out. I hate the hops. Oh, really? There you go. I love the single barrel Four Roses. It's got a nice rye spice to it. That's a really solid pour. All right. What else we got to say? Oh, man, Alan, thank you so much, man. Appreciate that. Thanks for the support, my friend. We still got to hit up one of those lives one of these days. I know we were chatting about it. We'll figure it out one of these days, man. But if for some reason some of y'all aren't subbed to Alan the Whiskey Friend, what are you doing? Go sub to his channel. He's doing great stuff. A lot of fun and a straight-up cool-ass guy. Daniel, I want to be a fly in the wall in your room, man. Daniel's having a complicated happy hour tonight, y'all. He started with that IPA, and now he doesn't know what to do to fix it. Lefroy Castring should knock that out. If that doesn't do it, nothing will. All right, man. Appreciate you, Pilgrim. You know I'm going to get you back soon. I'm going to get you some bourbon samples. I know we chatted about how hard it is to get bourbon over in Sweden at a good price. I'll do you good, man. Appreciate these samples, man. These are some whiskeys I'd never have if you wouldn't have sent them to me. So thank you. All right, y'all. Here we go. Springbank, 8 years old, fresh sherry cask. Boom. And you know that's natural color and non-chill because it is Springbank. They do things right. Oh. Right away, as I was saying, there's a nice kind of fresh wood shaving note, deep, rich sherry. It's not dry fruit because, and I think that's indicative of the younger age here. It's fresh. There's a little bit of that smokiness. There's a little bit of that mustiness. God, I just love Springbank. I wish I could try so many more of these. There's a bit of a kind of cinnamon spice thing going on in the back. Digging it. So we'll do one neat, 56.8%. Here we go. Wow. Sweet, rich, and then heavy spice, alcohol bite. But it's interesting. Right when you think that, an 8-year-old whiskey, you think that alcohol bite's just going to fade into a short finish. It comes back around. You get a nice kind of light caramel vanilla note going on. More of that juicy fruit. We're talking like sweet berries, more like not tart. So we're talking more like blueberry, strawberry. Goes into a nice medium finish. Bit of spice, bit of that funkiness, bit of that. Okay. I can mess with this. I'd be curious what a bottle of this costs. I'll have to hit up Whiskey Pilgrim about this and see how much a bottle of this would run. But it is a whiskey festival release, so it might not be the easiest thing to get. So he says it's a fresh sherry cask. I'm assuming this is all first fill. And you can tell, right? It's a young whiskey. But for a Springbank, it's not spirity. You're not getting those kind of really youthful notes other than the heat. Delicious. Alan's heading out. Hey, Alan, appreciate you, man. Thanks so much for the support, buddy. We'll connect soon. Get some good rest. I'm sure you're still nursing a bit of a headache after that marathon stream you did on Sunday. Be well, buddy. I'd be curious. Have any of y'all had any really special Springbanks, stuff that's not kind of in the core range release I have to say I can count on one hand how many I've ever tasted. This one, quite delicious. If any of y'all have had this, as I said, 8 years, Campbelltown Whiskey Festival 2019. What a pour. Delicious. Oh, Pilgrim's still here. Right on. He said, let me catch that one more time. 75 pounds. So this is like a $120 whiskey. I could see that. In the way Springbank prices are these days in the States, that's a good price. Oh, wow. There's like rich. It's just so rich. Again, you would think there'd be a lot of alcohol coming off the nose at this high with that age. No, man. It's just rich, delicious sherry. If you know what this reminds me a bit of, and if Santa Cruzin is still in the house, you'll probably know what I mean. It reminds me a bit of the nose of the Deanston Bordeaux cask, which is like a 9-year cask strength red wine cask finish. A little bit deeper, darker fruits on this one, but it's like that same kind of nose where like you expect it to be really hot and spicy and overwhelming, but actually what you end up getting is surprisingly rounded, fresh fruit. That's what's going on here. A little bit of water. What a pour. All right. Wow. The nose changes so much. More citrus, more toffee. Still nice fruit. Boy, I wish I had a whole bottle of this. Springbank's one of those distilleries that for me, digging in and exploring them is like such a treat because you get so many different things each time. The cask strength 12 years old, which is something I like to grab whenever I can find it. That one is probably maybe not my favorite, but it was definitely the most exciting Springbank. I don't think it's my favorite, but it's the most exciting. Batches are different, so you get something a little bit new every time. My favorite, I think, to date is the 15. I love the 15, which is more sherried. But this is delicious. I got to give a lot of props to Pilgrim for this one. Oh, man. Ellen does need some rest. That after a 7-hour live stream, my friend. Get some sleep, brother. Thanks for stopping by, though. Mark Stengel says, I have not tried any Springbank. Yeah. Springbank is one of these distilleries that pretty sought after and loved by the whiskey Scotch community at large, especially folks who've been into it for a while, because they do things, everything is done in-house, all their malting. It's all non-chill filtered, natural color whiskey. It's no frills, old school style. A lot of complexity. It has a signature kind of mustiness to it that you really don't find in really any other whiskeys, save for the Mr. Cloudy back there. And it's a bit challenging and also not the cheapest. I think, I'm not sure exactly where you are and how many scotches you've had, but, to really appreciate a Springbank, pick up the 10 years old, maybe after a year or so, maybe a little bit less as you've been developing your palate. You might appreciate the kind of complexity and nuance that Springbank has. It's a very singular whiskey. It's from the Campbelltown region, which is a style all of its own. There's, only 3 distilleries, I think, currently in Campbelltown: Springbank, Glen Guile, who makes Kilkerran, and Glen Scotia. So it's a little bit different. You might really like the flavor. It's not smoky peated whiskey. It has a little bit of peat, but it's not smoky intense like a Lefroy. Well, maybe the 10 would be a good place to start sometime. Keep your eye out on it. I'd love to hear if anybody else has any other Springbanks that they would recommend. Good night, Alan. Take care. 1,100 bottles made. Oh, of the Springbank 8. Yeah, okay. I see that in your notes here, man. Sorry about it. I neglected to mention that. So this is actually only just over 1,000 bottles made. So even more of a treat. Man, am I loving that nose. Yeah, totally right. As I was trying to allude to, that kind of makes sense, right? It's a distillery that is definitely unique in and of itself, and has all these like single cask releases they put out and different finishes that are really hard to find in the States. And if you do, they're usually pretty pricey. But I have a 11-year-old single cask Sauternes finish, which I've not opened yet. It was a gift. I'm looking forward to getting into that one eventually. I've had the 10, I've had the 15, I've had the 12, I've had the 12 green. And I want to see, I had the 15 Rumwood. I think that was the only one that I was like, I could do without it. Richie C says to Peter White, one place down in 2019 near San Francisco. That was just before March lockdown. The only Springbank I have is a 12 cask strength. Springbank is hard to get in Canada. Oh, no kidding. That I did not know. But at least you can get the Springbank 12 cask strength, because that's the one you'd want to get if you can. Cool. Donner Pass is in the house. Donner, I'm going to raise a glass to you, my good friend. How are you? And happy Tuesday. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I love the 15. I love the 12 cask strength. Is an 18-year-old versus a 10 or 12-year-old better? Better is tough. Generally, I'd say yes. With an 18, you're going to get more complexity and more subtlety. Very generally speaking, what I tend to find with younger whiskeys, 10 to 12, the flavors are bolder and louder. But what you get with that, you miss in kind of subtlety and complexity. Whereas like an 18-year-old age single malt, you're going to get more complexity. It's going to have a bit more viscosity on the palate in some cases. There's going to be just more to explore, more to experience. So, my journey really started with younger whiskey, going into older stuff. I still go back to a lot of younger whiskey, Aultmore 12, for example. But yeah, I think generally speaking, maybe some other folks in the chat would have even more to add to that. But like, how do you like differentiate between them? I mean, it when you've had it, but we got a lot of folks in here with a lot of whiskey knowledge. I'm not going to act like I'm the expert on explaining all this stuff. Gary K, what's up, buddy? Oh yeah, those local barleys. I wish I could get those, man. I've only had one tasting, and it's the 9-year, and it was okay. Okay, maybe I'll do that one next. I hear you on that. Right on. Glenbergie 10. I've never had that one. Interesting, man. I'd be interested to hear how that is. I'm not familiar with that one too much. We've hit Springbank 10, 12 cask strength, 15. I've never laid eyes on the Longrow or Hazelburn. Yeah, so the Longrow and Hazelburn are like Springbank owns their other brands. The Hazelburn is triple distilled, so it's a bit on the usually more sherry cask stuff, and then the Longrow is their peated line. Eric, what's your personal definition of that distinctive Springbank funk? That's a good question. It reminds me of going into a musty warehouse or a musty basement. It's damp, it's dusty, it's honestly a little bit, damp and dusty, I think is the best way I can describe it. I don't want to put too much more on it. Springbank, it smells like you walked into a wood shop that hasn't been used in 15 years and it's in a submerged basement. I don't know, something like that, It's just got this, it just smells like you're kind of in a warehouse. Wet pebbles, kind of wet, minerality a little bit, maybe is the other thing I would add to it. But you know it when you smell it, especially on Springbank. That's my best shot. I'd be curious if anybody else has a good way to describe how you do the Springbank funk. I will tell you this, though. This 8-year-old is fantastic. You wouldn't believe that this is an 8-year-old whiskey. It's just great. Yeah, I've never had the 18 specifically for that reason, man. It's like $200. And I've actually heard the 18 might be the weakest of their range. I mean, I've never had the 21 or the 25. I do have a sample of the 21 I'll get into soon, but yeah, that's good. That's a good way to put it. Richie says damp is part of it. Yeah, definitely, right? Like kind of, as you mentioned, it's brine and smoke. Red citrus mixed fruit. Okay. Yeah. I can see what you're saying there. Yeah, damp like a basement that maybe was flooded not too long ago or had some water damage. Just like wet wood. It's kind of a must. I don't want to belabor this, but I think you kind of probably follow what I'm saying. Anyways, we're at the bottom of the hour, y'all, and we got 17 folks in, which is exciting, man. Love Tuesday happy hour with you guys. Let me just set the table about what's ahead. So we're going to probably get into one more of these samples from Whiskey Pilgrim. We got a Glen Scotia 14-year tawny port finish, Springbank 21 or Long Road 21. We will check in on Mr. Cloudy here, and then shortly after the 9 o'clock hour, as always, I'm going to head on over to continue the Tuesday whiskey party with Telex the Whiskey Tech. This week, we are going to be reviewing, tasting, I should say, Ardbeg Supernova 2009. So I'm really excited about this. As you guys know, Telex and I have finally got some samples in each other's hands. Last week, we did the Ballbler 1990. So we're going to be checking out Ardbeg Supernova this week. I'm so pumped for this. I don't know anything about Supernova other than I can never get it. I know it's high peat. That's about it. So I'm going to try an Ardbeg I've never had before. As usual, I'll drop the link in the chat as we get closer to once Telex goes live. And we can all head on over there and keep the party going, man. So I hope everybody can join. Anyways, I'm going to finish this last sip of this Springbank. Oh, I should also mention last week, Telex gave a second opinion on the Springbank or the Glen Scotia bottle, which I'm going to pour now. So as you guys all know, we've been going back and forth on this forever. We are past the halfway point on this bottle. I think it has been getting a little bit more palatable. This is what it's looking like. Maybe a little less cloudy, but still crazy cloudy, right? Let's be real. So I did send a sample of this to Telex, and he tasted it. And his general opinion was what I have been describing as kind of a chewed vitamin shoe polish thing. For him was a little bit more chemical chlorine. So he confirmed the cloudiness freaked him out. The note, the crazy weird note on the nose, also struck him as off. So we do have a second opinion in the house on this. But with that, I'm going to pour a little bit of this in the glass. I've not gone blind yet. I can't imagine it's going to happen now. Let's see what's happened with this. It's been about 3 months, y'all. And since we're getting this low, it's like, I don't know how many more weeks we'll have left to tasting this. As I did mention, I'm going to have a few samples. And maybe this is something I'll do on the Patreon page. If you guys didn't catch it, I did finally go ahead and create the Patreon page for the channel. I'll drop the link one more time in the chat if anybody is interested in peeping that out. and supporting everything we're doing here. It will always be appreciated. But I am going to get 3 samples of these out to some folks. I don't know who yet or how it's going to be done, but it's going to happen. And maybe I'll make it a Patreon thing. I don't know. Join Patreon to try the weirdest whiskey ever. Right? That's not a bad idea. Anyways, but there she is, looking as cloudy and funky as ever. Telex confirmed it. This is a weird bottle. And right away on that nose, it's still weird. I'm running out of ways to describe this whiskey other than funky in the weirdest way. Telex said chlorine. I kind of feel like I know what he means by that, but it's sweeter for me. Again, the nose, off-putting. The palate, pretty delicious. The finish, back to off-putting. So, with that, Mark Stengel, he says you're still walking. Yes, I am still alive. So, this is good news. It's still there, though. And I'm telling you, as I keep saying, it's almost becoming an evangelist about it at this point. There's good whiskey in here underneath that nose. Here we go. Rich, intense, delicious. Dried fruit, slight peat, chocolate, caramel, a little bit of spice. But then as it goes into that finish, it's back. That weird note that just tampers everything. If you didn't catch it, I did get an interview with Glen Scotia about this a few weeks back. You can find it on the channel if you're interested in checking that out. But long story short, I think we're getting to the end of the line with this. I don't think much is going to change. This is over halfway. It just is what it is. And, my theory on it, I think, is that it was mishandled probably by the third-party company I bought it from. I don't know. Glen Scotia did say that they probably thought something was wrong with it too. But who knows? Man, it's too bad because there's really tasty stuff in here. I'm gonna just put some water on it and down the hatch with the rest of this. Boy, oh boy. What a bummer. Oh, well, I'm actually over it, y'all. I mean, I paid more for this than I ever would have wanted to, but given where it's at, we come to terms with it. And plus, it's been fun to chat about. Let me catch up in the chat because I've realized now I haven't looked at it in a second. I don't know what's going on. Gary K. Lock, Stock, and Barrel is 100% rye. Are you drinking some of that? I have not had it. Whiskey Pilgrim says the funk is to me a mix between passion and my retirement flying out the window. Oh, man. I'm picking up what you're throwing down, brother. That makes sense to me. Yeah. And then some. Fungus might be putting it mildly. I don't know what exactly to say about this. So Gary K has got this 18-year-old Lock, Stock, and Smoking Barrel. Not Smoking Barrel, that's a movie. I did get to try a Hochstadter's once, Peter White. Man, that was good stuff. That's from Alberta Distillery too, huh? If I ever need to know anything about Canadian whiskey, man, Peter White, you are one of the people I will go to. 13 lock, stock, and barrel. Probably tomorrow. Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay, so this is lock, stock a bourbon? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a little bit behind. Let me take a look. Just get caught up here on this. Oh, wow. Okay. They have an 18-year-old whiskey. It's like $200 some. American whiskey. Okay, so it's not a bourbon. Rye. 18-year-old straight. 18-year-old rye. Damn. They have a 16 and a 13. Who makes this stuff? Cooper Spirits. Huh. I have not had any of that, but man, does that sound like a treat. What's up, Gary? You need my address? That sounds like a good whiskey, man. I hope you're enjoying it. You'll get so many Patreons just to try that bottle. You're probably tired of people. Oh, man. I don't know. I'm not trying to be like that, you know. Y'all were the ones who were telling me to set up the Patreon, so I did it. No, but I feel you. I feel you. I'll definitely figure out a way to get samples to as many folks as I can. This is a whiskey that people just need to try. I don't know what else to say about it. But I do appreciate you encouraging me to do it, man. Thank you for that. Gary K says a Santa Cruz and 16-year-old lockdog, 16-year-old Springbank. Whoa. Amontillado, sure. Really? Boy, does that sound good. Man, I can't even imagine. That sounds really tasty. You know, it's been a while since I had that one. I don't quite remember that happening with it. But I might have some more of that. Maybe I could check that out again. I really liked Nika from the barrel. I know it was the prices got kind of crazy after a while because it was like a Whiskey Advocate Whiskey of the Year or something like that. I really enjoyed it. It was like 54% or something. I don't quite remember a funk note to it. It did have a bit of that kind of Mizunara oak thing going on, if you know what I'm saying by that. But I don't quite remember the funk. But again, it's been a while. It's probably been 2 years. I'd love to try it again. That's good, Mark. Man, we got a healthy chat going on about Lockstock. I feel like I'm missing out on this. All right. Oh, wow. 150. Okay. That sounds good. For an 18-year-old rye, dude, that's a great price. Man. Emily Chambers, what's up? Nice to see you. Oh, we do. We just got a little bit into it. I'm actually going to juxtapose it with another sample I got from Whiskey Pilgrim, which is the Glen Scotia 14 Tawny Port. So my hypothesis is this is going to be a delicious whiskey and not necessarily as complicated, to put generously, as our good friend, Mr. Cloudy. As we just tasted Mr. Cloudy again. So I'm going to get into this tawny port here. I'm going to let it sit for a sec. I'll catch up. Gary K says it's from Philly. Wait, what's from Philly? Because I'm in Philly. Did I miss out? I might have missed out on something totally here. You were born in Philly, Gary. Oh, no kidding. Okay, I've lived in Philly for just over a year. I'm in West Philadelphia, 45th range, if you know where that is. Where were you in Philly, ma'am? You come back here ever? The Campbelltown one, yeah, so that was actually 2019, the Springbank 8. Don Holland, what's up, friend? How are you, man? Good to see you, my friend. Happy Tuesday. Oh, Gary says Lock Stock is in Philly. I don't know how I missed out on that. It's probably because of COVID. I literally moved here, and then, 6 months, less than, later, it was coronavirus craziness. So my ability to explore a lot of the city has been a little bit stunted. But now that you mentioned this, man, I'm going to be on the radar. Look at this, man. Gary's coming and telling me what's in my own backyard. Appreciate that, man. Good deal. Two Slows in the house. What's up, man? Happy Tuesday. All right. Springbank Tawny Port. This is the Malt Festival Edition 2020, 52.8%. Tawny Port is a older port than the regular Ruby Port that folks get. This is going to have a little bit more of those kind of dry fruit notes, I think, and that's definitely evident on the nose. The nose on this is simply superb. Wow. It's dark, it's rich. Port whiskeys or port finished whiskeys always tend to have a bit of this kind of cloying, almost like syrupy, fruity, fruit syrup sweetness to them. This, it's there, but it's a bit drier. You're getting more of the dry fruit notes. Wow, it's really great. This is a bottle I wish I could have got my hands on. A little bit of cinnamon, little bit of mint. Boy, it's really just kind of dry fruitcake Christmas notes. Wow. Mm-hmm. Spice, fruit, pepper, again, dried fruit, dried red fruits. Really delicious. It's got a bit of a bite, mintiness, caramel going into the finish. Oh, wow. I'm glad I only poured half this sample because this is one I'm going to have to explore for sure. Nice long finish on this. Sticky. I'm a big Glen Scotia fan, so I am not sad about this. Boy, I wish I had a bottle. This is really good. This is the first tawny port I've ever had, so I don't have anything to really compare it to. But this blows any other port casks I've had out of the water. I can tell you that. When I think of things like the Quinto Ruban, which I enjoy quite a bit, this is much more sophisticated, much more interesting. Long time no see. Yeah, man. Good to see John Holland in the house, always. Mark Sengel says he's sick of masks. I hear you on that, brother. Totally. Ha! Literally what Santa Cruzan just said. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. The tawny port, right? Exactly. Yep. That's what I'm on right now. I'm really enjoying it. We got an update. Daniel's had a rocky evening, starting with the IPA. What causes milk chocolate with the Lefroy? Oh, do we have a pairing? Is this an official pairing from Daniel? Sip a hazy IPA and then drink Lefroy 10 cask strength if you want to have a nice chocolatey finish. That's interesting. Which Lefroy 10 cask strength are you sipping, by the way? Batch 11? That sounds interesting. Canadians making connections. Yeah, big time. This is another one. So Pilgrim sent this to me. This is one I don't think you can find in the States. I know you can kind of get it online overseas. This was the 2020 Malt Festival Edition Glen Scotia, 14 years tawny port. It's great. You definitely can tell that this is finished in the tawny port because those bourbon notes that you get off Glen Scotia are definitely here. Light caramel, even like a light brown sugar, some of the cinnamon, even maybe slight, I don't know if I'd say clove, allspice. Baking spices are here with that nice dried red fruit finish. It comes big on the nose. I really enjoy the nose on this the most. I think the nose on this is just incredible. I can see why this is getting high praise from Whiskey Pilgrim, which, by the way, if you guys are not subscribers to yet, take a second, man. Head over to Whiskey Pilgrim's channel, give him a sub. He does great reviews, really stand-up cool guy. I definitely encourage everybody to give him a support. Wow, this is just changing in the glass. It's getting chocolatier. Bit of an herbal nut, too. Oh, man. Wow, that's good. Wow, that's good. I know, man. You're good. Anyone had a 27-year-old redbreast. Oh, the Dream cask, isn't that what it's called? Man, I wish. I haven't had the 21 redbreast. The 12 cask strength redbreast is my favorite Irish whiskey I've ever had. But I am not, unfortunately, had anything. I've had the 15, now that I think about it, which I don't think is even close to being as good as the 12 cask strength. That these more heavily aged ones, man, I wish. $500 though, like I'd be interested if anybody wants to go in on a bottle and split one. I mean, Redbreast is so good, in my opinion. It's just such a tasty Irish whiskey. To have a 27-year-old, even let alone the 21, would just be a super big treat for me. Yeah, do that. Be like Mark Stengel. Check out Whiskey Pilgrim, man. He's legit. Good guy. Folks saying hi to Emily Chambers. Always good to have Emily in the house. I hope you didn't miss the fuzzy cask. Not a lot of big updates this week on it. More of the same. But as I mentioned, I'm going to I set up the Patreon page, and I'll probably I don't know, figure out some way to raffle off some samples to folks. So if anybody's interested, check it. Read the previous message. I will do that. I probably missed something. Oh, batch 10. Yeah, Lefroy 10 cask strength batch 10 is awesome. My favorite one. And I've had a lot of them. Love the ballot. Love the batch 10. Man, you are getting some serious notes. Smoked halibut, bacon, shallot jam. Damn. That's intense. Glad you are enjoying that, man. Those are some serious notes. You spent some time with that whiskey. Oh, is the Dreamcast not the? I thought it was the 27. Is it like maybe it was a 28? I don't know. Gary might be able to check me on that. I'm not quite sure. 27-year-old is different. Oh, interesting. Okay. Let me just take a quick look here. I don't remember. Redbreast 27. Oh, you're right. It is. I take that back, y'all. The Dream cask is not the 27. It is literally just a 27-year-old single pot still Redbreast. Okay. I missed that. But there is a Dream cask. Yeah, it is older than that. Okay. Man, I can't imagine a 27-year-old Redbreast. Wow. Redbreast 12. So there are two releases. There's the standard Redbreast 12, probably $60. There's the Redbreast 12 cask strength, a little bit harder to find, $80. But if you find it, I recommend it. The 15 is about $100. I'd say get the 12 cask strength. I think that's the better one. But even if you can just find Redbreast 12, if you want to try a serious single pot still Irish whiskey where you have that unmalted and malted barley cereal notes in it, and want to taste like what I guess in my opinion is like what an Irish whiskey should really taste like if you've only had Jameson, Tullamore Dew, or something like that, Redbreast 12. Also, Green Spot 12. Green Spot is, or not Green Spot. It's not a 12-year-old, but Green Spot or the Yellow Spot. So keep an eye out for those two. Probably, I would say Redbreast 12 and Green Spot. Again, $60, $65 range is probably the most you'll see a Redbreast 12 for. Totally worth it, especially if you've never had it before. Oh, wow. Man, you are lucky, dude. You can't find that in the United States. Less than probably 120 with shipping, for sure. I really appreciate you sending me this sample, man. It's delicious. At Mom Music, I was BSing about the fish. You're good, Daniel. Power's back on. Yeah, awesome, man. I'm glad you'll be able to join us too. Yeah, I mean, I hope everybody stayed safe during this hurricane tropical storm. We got hit pretty hard here in Philly. Came through this morning. We had tornado warnings at like 6 o'clock in the morning. It was torrential rain. And then by 2 in the afternoon, it was partly sunny and 78 degrees. It was like incredible exercise in contrast. Really, really interesting. Yeah, definitely. Very attainable, Emily. Very attainable. I mean, I think any decent liquor store you go into is going to have at least the Redbreast 12. It's not a exclusive whiskey by any stretch. I highly recommend you try it. Really delicious stuff. Yeah. 105, yes. You are starting to see it a little cheaper now, but Lore is really good. I know it's NAS. Some people might try and tell you otherwise. 100, I'd pull the trigger on 105. Lore is a really tasty whiskey. I think I did a top 5 Lefroy's actually. I want to say back in February. I think Lore was my number 5 or number 4. Yeah, man. 105, buy with confidence. That's a seriously good whiskey. Yeah, it came through here on the East Coast. I think it probably hit New York around like 9 a.m. this morning, give or take. Eric, do you like Teeling whiskey? Very unique in the Irish one. I do. When I was in Ireland last year, I got the chance to visit their distillery, which was a lot of fun. I got myself a nice little sample of some Teeling right here, which I have not opened. I'm going to open this one of these days. I don't know why I haven't yet. I got this. I got some Teeling glasses. I got to try a couple other things. I've had their single grain. Yeah, I like Teeling quite a bit. They're doing exciting stuff, and it's getting better. They're putting out more and more interesting things. Teeling is something to check out. It's not probably as easy to find as Redbreast, but really good stuff. Yeah, I'm on board with Teeling for sure. And we got 21 folks in the house, which is amazing, man. I hope everybody's having a safe, happy, and enjoyable Tuesday. It is Tasty Tuesday after all. And we are about to hit that 9 o'clock hour, which means we are getting close to heading to Telex, the Whiskey Text channel, for part 2 of our program for the evening. As you all know, Telex and I have finally got some samples in each other's hands. And tonight, we are going to be tasting Ardbeg Supernova 2009 release. I have never had Supernova. I don't know what to expect other than it's going to be heavily peated. So I'm really excited to do that. If you didn't catch last week, Telex and I took a look at Ball Blair 1990, which is a sample I sent him. That was a lot of fun. So once Telex is ready to rock and roll, I will put the link into the chat. And so folks can head on over and join the conversation over there, as we're going to be continuing here on Tasty Tuesday. So as we always do. So it'll be fun. I hope folks can join us. Bourbon Bounty's in the house. What's up, buddy? I should mention, keep an eye on the channel. Bourbon Bounty and I are going to be hopping on to do a live show on Sunday. So I'll post that up. I'll keep you guys posted on how that's going to go. Malted in Montreal is in the house. I know he is. Yeah, he is on the road. I recall, man. I hope your travels are going well, brother. He's on a motorcycle heading eastbound in the southern part of Canada, I believe towards Newfoundland or Nova Scotia, if I'm not mistaken, man. I've been checking out your pics on Instagram, man. I hope your travels are going well. We're sipping some whiskey, man. Stay safe on the roads, brother. Folks are saying hi to Swami. I have never had Waterford Irish, so that I do not know about. Sounds decent enough, though. I don't know. Definitely tell me more about it, man. You got a bottle of it? What's the ABV? Does it have an age statement? I'm curious to hear about it. I'm going to get a little more Aultmore on this glass to get my palate set, because I'm going to be diving in with the Supernova with Telex, and I don't know what to expect about that. Folks saying hi. Folks saying hi. Yeah, cheers back to you, man. Bourbon Bounty. We're going to be chatting Elijah Craig, among other things, on Sunday. That video link will be up relatively soon, so you guys can keep an eye on it. He's got a great channel as well. If you guys are interested in bourbon, and he also does a couple other things, swing on over. Check out Bourbon Bounty. We'll be chatting on Sunday. It'll be fun. More whiskey talk, right? Nothing wrong with that. Let me see what else is going on. Folks saying hi to Swami. Gary's heading out. Good to see you, Gary, man. Thanks for swinging by. Good chatting with you, and thanks for the info on Lock, Stock, and Barrel. I got to go find that. Apparently, it's in my backyard, man. Be well. Yeah, back at you, Mark. Cheers, buddy. Appreciate it. Santa Cruz, I'm glad I made the show. Tuesdays and the same without it. Oh, man. It's always good to see you, Santa Cruzin. Thanks for stopping by, man. You are a vital part of this chat, man. It's always good to have you around, talking, shooting the shit about whiskey, man. Stay safe, be well. Am I going to post our live really like scheduled? Yeah. I'll hit you up on Instagram. We'll figure that out. But I probably, right? We're going to do like 8 o'clock or something on Sunday. Let me know what works best. Silverlock. I don't know if Waterford's available in the U.S. yet. I'm actually not sure. I don't know much about it. Mark's going to give us the skivvy. Oh, Daniel's got an update. So in case you guys didn't catch in the beginning of the show, Daniel came across a steal with the Blanton single barrel for $50 at a Kroger, and now he's trying to get it to swap with a whiskey shop that he knows to get an Aultmore 18. He's got an update. He says, shop owner just touched base with me on the Blantons. Said to call me in the morning, and he'd check prices with distributors about an Aultmore 18 trade. Nice, man. Man, I hope you get that. That's a deal. You get an Aultmore 18 for that Blanton single barrel, my friend. That's a deal. For sure. How's your Infinity bottle going? Said Andrew Page. I finally got around to starting winning. You know what? I haven't added anything to it recently because I haven't been opening any peated, smoky peated scotches. It's about a quarter of the way filled. You know what? I'll bring it out on Telex's channel when we're doing our show. I'm not sure how much. Yeah, I haven't added anything to it because I haven't really had any more peated scotches. So I do have a single cask Lafroig, 12 years old, which I'll probably be the next thing I add to it. But yeah, it's building up slowly but surely. And I think I should probably get around to tasting it. So at last check, let me actually just, Daniel's point, let me actually just take a quick look at what is in that Infinity bottle. So we started this here on the channel, I want to say a couple weeks ago. Oh, no, it's longer than that, probably like a month, right? So the Infinity bottle, it's my first one ever, and y'all were kind of guiding me through the process, which is cool. So here's what's in it right now: Ardbeg Wee Beastie, Lafroig Lore, Lafroig 15, Lagavulin 12 cask strength, Lechag 10, Kilhoman Lochgorm 2019, Brooklottie Port Charlotte 10-year-old, Kalila 11-year-old cask strength, and Ardbeg Drum Committee release. So it's a pretty formidable so far, but I'll be getting some more in there for sure. Maybe next week we'll do a checkup on that. I'll give it a taste. I'll do that next week on the happy hour. That'll be fun. He just said Lock, Stock, and Barrel maybe in your backyard, but it's not Joseph. Yeah, it's definitely not Joseph Magnus. Good one, man. Good one. Yeah. Like I said, Telex and I are going to be checking out not Joseph Magnus, Ardbeg Supernova. Too funny, man. Santa Cruz said whiskey in moderation is COVID proof. Always great to be here. Yeah, man. Same to you, my friend. Pilgrim's going to head out. Yeah, I love the samples, man. You're too generous, my friends. I appreciate it, Pilgrim. And as I mentioned, if y'all haven't yet, go check out Whiskey Pilgrim's channel. Give him a sub. He's doing great whiskey reviews. He's also got great taste in metal if you're into such things. Check it. Take good care, man. Get some sleep. You are all the way over in Sweden after all. Richie Z, still hanging. What's up, man? Santa Cruz, and did you ever get Deanson 20 burnt toast? The Deanson 20, is that sherry cask? I have a bottle of that. I haven't opened it yet. I'd be curious to hear what you guys think about it. I'm looking forward to that. That's one of those that I have unfortunately just not opened yet. What's a good international whiskey? Hey, what's up, man? Nice to meet you, buddy. Thanks for swinging by. Yeah, good international whiskey sites. So there's one called Whiskey International Online. They'll ship to most places in the U.S. Check that one out. Trivedi 85. There's one other one. What is that called? Damn. Yeah, I'm spacing on the name of it. Whiskey International Online is one you can definitely check for sure. They'll probably ship your way. Oh, I think the other one is called Love Scotch. Daniel's, man, I have a collection of, my collection is 100% not Joseph Magnus bottles. It's crazy. Richie said it is. Okay, cool. I'm looking forward to trying that one, man. It's been sitting on the radar for so long. I'm one of these people that, like, I go through phases where I'll buy a bunch of things and then I won't buy anything for a long time and try to catch up on the things I have. And like I said, man, it was like with this Aultmore, you open stuff, you try it a couple times, and then you get excited by something else. It sits on the wayside. And this isn't that it's a bad thing. It just happens. Before you know it, you come back to it a few months later and it's good. So maybe I got to get to that Deanson 20. I feel like it's been sitting around for too long. Let me do a quick check. Telex should be ready soon. I'm really excited, man. We're going to be, as I said, checking out Ardbeg Supernova 2009, which apparently comes at with a lot of praise from folks. So I'm excited to try that one. In the meantime, I'm almost near the end of this Aultmore. And I think this is going to be a good one. I'm doing just tiny pours of this just to keep the palate in good shape, because I think this Ardbeg is going to knock my socks off. At least that's what I'm hoping for. So it should be really good. Bourbon Bounty has got it right. If you enter someone's house and they have more bottles of whiskey than they have shelves, they're a great person. There you go. Sage words from Bourbon Bounty. Take heed, y'all. I could. I do have a bottle of the Black CR still open. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. That'll be a lot of fun. I'm not sure Telex has an Ardbeg CR left, because I know he was real excited about that whiskey and drank a lot of it. I'll see what he has to say, but after we taste it, yeah, I'll gladly do a side-by-side with it, because I think I have a bottle relatively handy. So I'll do that, man. Good thinking. Let me just check in quick on how our good friend Telex is doing. We might be about ready to migrate over for part 2 of Tasty Tuesday. Our good friend Telex of Whiskey Tech, and yep, he is live. All right, y'all. Check out the chat. I have just dropped in the link to Telex the Whiskey Tech's live stream. We are going to be getting together there in just a few minutes to continue Tasty Tuesday. We're going to try this Ardbeg. We're going to keep things going, so on and so forth. So head on over to Telex the Whiskey Tech. I'll see you all there, man. It's been another really fun Tuesday hanging out with everybody, as it always is. Appreciate seeing so many old faces and some new faces. I'll raise a glass to you all. If I don't see you over at Telex, stay safe and be well. I'll catch you next Tuesday. Have a good evening, y'all.